Win a 21-piece bucket with KFC Malkins. Simply buy a Streetwise 2, write your name and contact number on the back of your till receipt, and put your receipt in the entry box provided in the store.
A very good evening, viewers from within and beyond our borders. We are coming to you live from Hospital Hill in Babane. My name is Otwa Adlamini, bringing you the 8 o'clock news bulletin. First, the headlines. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini has announced that the Form 3 class of 2020 will return to class from Monday, the 24th of August 2020, while Grade 7 will return to class on the 1st of September 2020. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini has officially launched a delivery unit that will be responsible for the proper implementation of the post-COVID-19 economic recovery strategy. The Ministry of Health has received an ambulance, personal protective equipment and laboratory equipment from the Republic of Taiwan, which will assist the Kingdom of Eswatini, especially health workers, in the fight against COVID-19. The news in detail. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini has announced that the Form 3 class of 2020 will return to class from Monday, the 24th of August 2020, while Grade 7 will return to class on the 1st of September 2020. The Prime Minister made this announcement during a press conference at Cabinet offices in Babane.
Following the decision to reopen schools on the 6th of July 2020, Government has continued to monitor the safety of schools in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic and implement stringent mitigation strategies. The Ministry of Health and Education are working closely with schools and have developed tools, operation procedures and guidelines on how schools can cope and continue operating under the prevailing COVID-19 situation. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says continuous training is being conducted for all stakeholders to increase safety in schools. The Prime Minister says health teams have been deployed in all the 4 regions to monitor and attend to all schools' concerns with regard to the pandemic, and a national schools health team, which consists of doctors, is in place to assist all schools.
Government has decided to open more levels with effect from Monday, the 24th of August 2020. The phases will be as follows. Form 3 will open for Term 2 on the 24th and will 24th of August 2020 and will close on the 23rd of October 2020. Term 3 for Form 3 will start on the 27th of October and close on the 18th of December 2020. Grade 7 will open on the 1st of September 2020 and close on the 30th of October 2020 for Term 2. Term 3 for Grade 7 will open on the 2nd of November and close on the 18th of December 2020. Similarly, more levels at tertiary institutions will be allowed to return to class and resume face-to-face instructional learning from Monday, the 24th of August 2020. They are as follows. Second year students to finish content and practical subjects 24th of August to the 4th of September 2020. First year students to finish content and practical subjects on the 14th of September to the 25th of September 2020. The new academic year 2020-2021 for tertiary institutions begins on the 5th of October 2020.
The Prime Minister says it is, however, disheartening to learn from the situational reports that a noticeable number of learners have not returned to schools, mainly due to pregnancy. Other learners have taken illegal and informal jobs. The Prime Minister encourages these learners to prioritize their education. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Lincoln Gule in Babane.
The Prime Minister Ambrose Manvulo Dlamini has officially launched a delivery unit that will be responsible for the proper implementation of the post-COVID-19 economic recovery strategy. River Report.
Last week Friday, the Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini launched the post-COVID-19 economic recovery strategy that seeks to revive the economy of the kingdom amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The Premier has since launched a delivery unit that will ensure proper implementation of the plan.
The delivery unit we are launching today, to be coordinated by Eswatini Economic Policy Analysis Research Center, ESEPAC, is mandated to drive the implementation of all projects articulated in the Economic Recovery Plan. It will further accelerate development strategies for small and medium enterprises to ensure they are an integral part of the recovery plan. More importantly, the unit is tasked with the responsibility of removing all barriers that may derail the implementation of the plan and ensure that these earmarked projects take off the ground and succeed. This unit has been set up to directly report to an investment committee made up of cabinet ministers from the identified key growth sectors. It is led by the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade. May I affirm government's commitment to seeing the economic recovery plan achieving its intended objective of reviving our economy.
Sophie Kinins, a member of the unit responsible for identifying all bottlenecks within government that hinder participation of the private sector in the economy, believes that with the right mindset, they can deliver as per the nation's expectation.
The reason why Africa has all the resources, but we are not there where we should be. And when you follow, the reason is one, we just don't have the right mindset, which is execution and others. Your Excellency, you mentioned something extremely important to say we cannot afford to fail emakhosi lakufumele nelibandla lakho nathi. This task, if we have the right mindset, we are going to achieve this, if not better. Government
and the private sector will inject over $1 billion in 97 projects, which are going to create over 40,000 jobs. For Eswatini TV News, I am Linton Gule in Babane.
The Ministry of Health has received an ambulance, a personal protective equipment and a laboratory equipment from the Republic of China on Taiwan, which will assist the Kingdom of Eswatini, especially health workers in the fight against COVID-19.
The Republic of Taiwan continues to provide support to the Kingdom of Eswatini during this period of COVID-19, as they have now donated an ambulance that will be taken to the Mbabane Government Hospital, personal protective equipment and laboratory equipment. The Taiwan Ambassador Jeremy Liang says this will help the people of Eswatini as the pandemic still continues, and that if countries work together in fighting COVID-19, the disease will be controlled.
They are absolutely committed to securing victory while fulfilling His Majesty King Eswatini III's dearest wish of realizing health for all. It is important to appreciate that the road is long when responding to infectious disease.
The Minister of Health, Liz Nkosi, says the Kingdom of Eswatini is very grateful to the Republic of Taiwan and that the laboratory's testing kits will improve testing methods, as they will now be able to test people in different areas in the country.
The goods being received today include an ambulance, thanks to the Chamber of Commerce in Taiwan, for supporting patient transport. We are also receiving personal protective equipment for our frontline workers, and thank you very much. And more importantly, we're receiving state-of-the-art laboratory equipment that will expand our capacity to test and bring about test results much quicker than we're able to do so just now.
The minister says the continuous support from Taiwan proves that they are good friends of the Kingdom of Eswatini, as they have been of great assistance ever since the outbreak of COVID-19 in the country began. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Temalang Dlamini with Fabrice Musonera in Mbabane.
The kingdom has recorded 2 COVID-19 fatalities in the last 24 hours. The deceased are a 54-year-old woman from the Ho region and a 42-year-old man from the same region. This brings the death in Eswatini to 81. The ministry has also reported 52 positive cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, which brings the total number of COVID-19 confirmed cases in Eswatini to 4,110. There are 1,854 active cases. 2,643 people have recovered from COVID-19 in the country, while Eswatini has recorded 81 COVID-19 fatalities. The Manzini region has recorded 1,854 COVID-19 confirmed cases. Oho region has recorded 1,640, Shiselweni 330, and Lubombo 286. The World Health Organization has donated medical equipment to the Ministry of Health to the value of 4.5 million emalangeni. The donation is aimed at protecting frontline workers as well as COVID-19 patients who are being treated for COVID-19. The donation was received by the Minister of Health, Lizzie Nkosi.
The aim of protecting frontline workers and those who are currently under treatment for COVID-19, the World Health Organization has donated PPEs to the Ministry of Health, which will include oxygen concentrators, respirator masks, and N95 masks, goggles, and other things to the value of 4.5 million emalangeni. The donation was made by the acting WHO representative, Dr. Brian Chirombo.
We are also handing over one polymerase chain reaction machine, together with COVID-19 testing kits and some consumables. And these are valued at 2,023,000 emalangeni. Together with this, we are also handing over personal protective equipment for health workers, which include face shields, isolation gowns, medical.
The Minister of Health, Lizzie Nkosi, passed her appreciation to the World Health Organization for being in the forefront ever since the outbreak of the pandemic.
So on behalf of the ministry, I would like to take the opportunity to say, we are grateful for the tremendous support. The world is going through this difficult time. WHO has never been so central to not just health response, but to bringing about peace, to bringing about cohesion, to bring about a new thinking across the world that says we are one world, one people. We should be working together. This pandemic is teaching us that it will affect anybody, everybody from anywhere in the world, and WHO is in the center of it and giving us guidance.
She says the oxygen concentrators come at a time when they are needed the most because of the increasing demand by patients at the Lubombo referral. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB, Mbabane.
The Minister for Health, Lizzie Nkosi, says the Eswatini Health and Human Research Review Board will assist in ensuring that data and evidence gathered in the country is protected. Nkosi says human subjects in research need to be prioritized. The Minister was speaking in Eswatini when formally presenting the EHRRB.
Health sector is research-based. As a result, research is an essential characteristic of a modern health sector. Speaking during the presentation of the Eswatini Health and Human Research Review Board, the Minister for Health, Lizzie Nkosi, has applauded the American government for assisting the country in building capacity for research review in the country.
For many years, the conduct of human research in the country was not well regulated, resulting in many research studies being carried out without proper authorization and knowledge of the country. These meant that safeguard of dignity, rights, well-being of research participants was not guaranteed. Data which was generated within the country from among people who volunteered to participate in research studies was similarly not protected. Today, I can confidently declare the subjection of research of research protocols for review in the country is now the norm, and similarly, the exploitation of data and biological samples from the country is now regulated. We meet here today to formally present to you and the country the Eswatini Health and Human Research Review Board, which shall be commonly referred to as EHHRRB.
Lisa Peterson, the American ambassador in Eswatini, who joined the meeting virtually, stated that it is of paramount importance to prioritize human subjects, especially during the time when the world is faced with the coronavirus.
We need ethical research and human subjects protections now more than ever.
The chairperson of the board, Dr. Rudolph Mazia, stated that they will work with integrity and honesty. The formalization of the board is in line with the call which was made in October 19, 2005 General Conference of UNESCO. For Eswatini TV, Sondomlangeni with Muzim Konda in Ezulwini.
The Minister of Health, Liz Nkosi, says Eswatini will greatly benefit from the Cuban doctors who are in Eswatini to share their expertise on COVID-19 and non-communicable diseases. The minister was speaking at Ezulwini when welcoming the 19 Cuban doctors.
The Minister of Health welcomed 19 Cuban doctors who are in the country to assist Eswatini on knowledge and expertise on COVID-19 as well as other non-communicable diseases like diabetes and heart diseases. They arrive at a time when Eswatini is faced with a high number of COVID-19 infections and deaths. Welcoming them, the Minister of Health, Liz Nkosi, says she hopes that the Eswatini doctors will benefit and learn a lot from the Cuban doctors.
And he wanted to talk about the diabetes food. He wanted to find out when, how and when Cuba can help Eswatini. So in January we had a couple of doctors coming through here to look at that program and the possibility of helping us develop a comprehensive diabetes program, as well as looking particularly at the diabetic ulcer, where we see a lot of Cuban missions going to Wuhan, going to Italy, large numbers coming to South Africa, and we know that wherever you've been, we're putting a lot of expectation on this. Wherever the Cuban doctors have been, there's been a difference. But really, the fact of the matter is, while we're responding and we're seeing the numbers growing, we're seeing more and more people dying, we're really, really grateful for your commitment to do this. You are coming into this country at a time where we really are desperate for answers. We're willing to learn from you. Newly qualified doctors, welcome back home. You're coming at the right time. There's a lot of work to be done.
These are results of His Majesty King Mswati III's partnership and relations the country has with Cuba. They are expected to be in the country for a period not exceeding 3 months. For Eswatini TV News, I am Kian MCB with LinkedIn Kule, Ezulwini.
Parliamentarians have raised concerns over the Deputy Prime Minister's office seemingly neglecting people with disabilities. This follows that currently only around 5,000 out of 167,000 people with disabilities in the country receive grants.
Members of Parliament made this submission in Parliament during a Public Accounts Committee sitting on Thursday. During the sitting, the Deputy Prime Minister's office had appeared to answer on recommendations made by the committee last year on disability issues, amongst others. The committee says disability issues seem to be neglected in the country.
Solo sangena kwasolo wakunywa kanye kwaswa20 alibanaki lelivest nebantu abakhubatekile abaningi lelive lakithi
bengajabulana ngabe angasibekela kahle lokho ukuthi in terms of le office la disability is it well structured likahle yini noma kune gap yokuthi nale staffing sengaka konke lokubhalwe kudzingwa ngile act is still not in place. Ngambekise nje yanga 2018 kufuneka kube nabo council kufuneka kube ne staff. How many staff members are there kule office?
Principal Secretary in the DPM's office, Makosini Mdawe, says they will do all they can to address disability issues in the country.
Kuyatshengisa silevela nenhlitweni kuyangitshengisa nokuthi uma sibuya lana kubahlonishwa sibuya nawo ema-regulations lakhuluma nge-disability atawendlula nge-speed ngoba lento ila enhlitweni ngoba sikhuluma info lebathinzako bahlonishwa ithinze nalama-constituencies lapha suka kiwo lena siyawathatha vele sidawabeka abe-priority ama-disability apha sesizekile nje hayi singayijuba but njengoba ngivumelana nawo lokuthi kufanele siphuthume siyawathatha ama-comments abahlonishwayo siyawathatha onke sidawa-implementa sidayi-prioritize inzaba ye-disability sidawuletha umthetho ude lana sidawutama ke mhlonishwa lokuthi sikhulume naye e-finance naye e-planning ukuthi inombolo siyikhuphule ingabi ngile nombolo lengiyo nyalo leng-5,400 and something ikhuphuke nanayo.
The DPM's office also says it has a staff shortage in the disability unit. It further says it has made requests to fill posts from the relevant ministry, but that has not been granted yet. For Eswatini TV News, Temgos Mavimbela, Lobamba.
The Scholarship Selection Board under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has started with conducting interviews with applicants who requested for funding of their tertiary institution education. The Scholarship Selection Board chairperson Stanley Dlamini says the virtual interviews have been going well so far.
The Scholarship Selection Board have started in engaging students who applied for funding of their studies in the different institutions in the country. The Scholarship Selection Board chairperson Stanley Dlamini says they are interviewing students from 3 different constituencies and will continue in engaging others as they continue. Dlamini says they haven't experienced any difficulties with the virtual interviews so far, but they are aware that they might face challenges with connecting with others in different areas in the country.
Well, we didn't have the time to test almost all the Tingunda centers, but the ones that we have started with, it is going very well. We do really anticipate that we might have problems as we go further with Tingunda centers in the rural areas, but we are of the opinion that the equipment that we are using will help us in that regard.
The scholarship interviews are expected to be completed month-end in September 2020. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Temalang Dlamini with Fabrice Musonera in Babane.
The Deputy Commissioner for Refugees, Wandile Bembe, says innovative ways of supporting refugees in a way that they can be provided with business support are urgently needed. Bembe says this will allow refugees to contribute to the country's economy. Bembe was speaking in a stakeholders meeting held in Eswatini.
The Ministry of Home Affairs under the Refugees Department has facilitated a stakeholders meeting which is aimed at finding innovative solutions towards assisting refugees and asylum seekers to live comfortably away from home. The ministry invited the business sector, financial sectors, and the Deputy Prime Minister's office, among other sectors. The Deputy Commissioner of Refugees, Wandile Bembe, says the meeting was also addressing the issues around ratifying some of the laws regarding the rights of refugees.
Nasingabambisana sibonisane ukuthi nguphi lesingakwenza kwenda sho ukuthi le mthetho leya mhlawumbe lesi ratifyile silive sayindawo ke lesisayinile sayu ratify sase siyawu domesticate ngale Refugee Act ya 2017, meaning sesi own in its entirety, and sikwende lokho sisayine without reservation, meaning siuthatha njengoba unjalo bese expecting abe business Eswatini to look at the employment opportunities for laba bekunene against bukeni nayo ukuthi abaqashe phela nalamaswati with a view ukuthi they should not just be categorized as just refugees, but ababonakale babantu labanga contribute meaningfully into our economy.
The Kingdom of Eswatini is among the countries that are working on ensuring that refugees are able to get proper education, health, shelter and food assistance, among others. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni with Muzim Konda in Eswatini.
The Small Enterprises Development Company is conducting a survey to assess the impact COVID-19 has had on small and medium enterprises in the past 2 months. This survey follows another that was done in May.
In the first survey conducted by the Small Enterprises Development Company in May, one of the findings was that small and medium enterprises need funds for their businesses which have been affected by COVID-19. SEDCO Senior Manager, Strategy and Organizational Performance, Themba Dlamini, says findings of the previous study were given to relevant organizations which have already started giving assistance to SMEs. Dlamini says the current study, which started on Wednesday, seeks to find out how COVID-19 has impacted SMEs in the past 2 months.
We wanted again to find out after the relaxation of the COVID containment measures, how small businesses have been impacted by that. Are we seeing an improvement in terms of the business? We are mostly interested to know how COVID has impacted on the employment aspect in terms of the SME sector. We are interested in looking at how COVID has impacted on the turnover of the SME sector. And therefore, and also we are interested in finding out from the SMEs how they have had to change and adapt to the situation. Have they had to deploy and employ new ways of doing the business? Have they changed their business models at all? What have they found to be working in this current situation?
Dlamini says conducting another study will help them do programs that are aligned with existing needs. He says the survey will be a month long and it will be conducted online. The manager has not ruled out the possibility of conducting more surveys in the future as they want to ensure that their programs are relevant to current needs. For Eswatini TV News, Themba Mavimbela, Babane.
In our sports news, football supporters will have to wait for at least another day to know the fate of the current season. Fabrice Msonera compiled the following report.
The National Football Association held the much-anticipated meeting on Thursday evening where it was to be decided on the fate of the 2019-2020 season, if it is to be nullified or proceed. After the meeting, members of the executive committee and others who attended the meeting did not wish to comment anything pertaining to the meeting. However, the chairman of the Premier League of Eswatini, Peter Magagula, says the decision that was taken was a tough one.
No, it was very tough. As I have said yesterday, that the decision for today, it won't be easy. Yeah. No, Fabrice, I don't know, but just talk to this. Otherwise, yeah, it's very tough, my man.
The Chief Executive Officer of Eswatini Football Association, Frederick Ngometulu, commenting to what was happening in the meeting, he highlighted that at this point in time, they are not going to reveal anything. However, on Friday this week, they'll be having a press conference where they'll be announcing to the public the decision that was taken pertaining to the current season. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Babane.
Before we come to the end of our news tonight, let us once again take a look at our main headlines. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini has announced that the Form 3 class of 2020 will return to class from Monday, the 24th of August 2020, while Grade 7 will return to class on the 1st of September 2020. The Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini has officially launched a delivery unit that will be responsible for the proper implementation of the post-COVID-19 economic recovery strategy. The Ministry of Health has received an ambulance, personal protective equipment and laboratory equipment from the Republic of China on Taiwan, which will assist the Kingdom of Eswatini, especially health workers in the fight against COVID-19. Well, viewers, that's all I have for you from our news desk. Thank you very much for staying with us. At this point in time, please allow me to leave you with the update for tonight and tomorrow. Otherwise, from myself, Zodwa Dlamini, and the rest of the transmission team, good night and stay safe.
Everywhere you go, MTN.